On this program, we let you in on everything happening in the cross-civil state landscape, the political landscape, the private sector, and everything that goes on cross-civil state political landscape. We let you in on everything, basically everything, so that you can also have the clarity on what is going on and how you can get involved effectively. So the Commissioner for Education in Cross-River State started the process by hitting the ground running. It demonstrated to everyone that he's not an armchair commissioner, and he's been everywhere with his policies. So today we are here to find out, are those policies really effective? Have they gotten the results that are required in 1 year? And what else should we look out for in 2025? All right, so I have here with me Senator Stephen Odey. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Ministry of Education headquarters.
All right, so we are here to look at what is going on in the people's government. The people's government, the people are the critical factor, and of course, education is a bedrock of every society. So I want to know from you, Honorable Commissioner, your policies that you implemented. I know that when you came up with a few of those policies, they were quite controversial, and a lot of people were resisting them. So 1 year down the line, what is going on?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity once again, and good morning, viewers and cross-riverians. It's interesting to note that I was appointed on the 16th of August 2023 by His Excellency the Governor of Cross River State, Senator Apostle Prince Bassey Odey, and it has been a very wonderful experience. Just like you stated, the new administration has been able to establish so much in the state, particularly in the education sector, where I superintend. And it has been a very wonderful experience. Yes, I agree with you that when I came on board, we came up with some policies. But I can tell you that we are harvesting the benefit of those policies, okay, despite the initial resistance. And I can proudly tell you that with the support of His Excellency the Governor, we are making a step, we are making progress, okay, tremendous progress. All right,
so can we be very practical about it? What has played out effectively? I know you came up with the tenure for principals. Yeah. Has that been implemented?
Well, I won't think about that as an achievement okay, yet, because that one, the report is still pending with His Excellency the Governor. Okay. Let me tell you, as an educationist, as somebody who is very versatile in the sector, and don't forget that it is in the course of this that I was recently promoted to the position of associate professor. Okay. And I'm not a novice in the system. I've been there with all the background, having taught in the primary, secondary, university, and all that. So I have a very tremendous experience in the sector. But let me tell you, when we came on board, the first thing the governor did, and which of course has endeared him to a lot of cross-riverians, and even nationally, is that he was able to pay for 16,301 students, okay, of Cross River State origin. Mm-hmm. We registered them for the WAEC. Mm-hmm. What will impress you and shock you is that the performance of those students was fantastic. Wow. Which was about 75.2% of from 5 credits and above. Wow. And I think that is commendable. And the credit goes to His Excellency, the Governor of Cross River State, Senator Prince Bassey Odey, too. As compared to the previous year, mm-hmm, 2023 WAEC, we surpassed the results. Okay, so what is responsible for that? The improvement in the results. The man, the man that is on rescue mission is doing a lot. And, we go around and move around. You say, look, you have a duty as a teacher to teach your student. Okay. And then when that is done effectively compared to what used to happen in the past, mm-hmm, where they have this lackadaisical attitude towards work. Mm-hmm. So there has been a tremendous effort in making sure that every child or learner gets into the class. There was a time I got to one school in Obubra, mm-hmm, and one of the teachers was in the staff room, and I went, looked at the timetable. That teacher was supposed to be in class. And I said, look, you are supposed to be in class. Why are you in the staff room? So these are the things, these are the transformation we are doing here. So teachers are now aware that, look, it is time to work. It is not time for gossip. Go to work, do your work, deliver your lectures, and be happy. All right. And I think that is what has led to that improvement. Okay. And don't also forget, let me review and recall that even when we started, there was an allegation of padding. Up to the release of that result, the statistics and the figure I submitted has not changed. So I want to warn cross-riverians, those who peddle rumors, and those mischief makers, to stay clear from
so now that you've been vindicated, is there any apology? Is there any?
I don't need apology. The truth will always prevail. God knows that I am here to perform my duties. Okay. Whether you apologize to me or not, even if you accuse me, it's left to God to prove that.
All right, so you started your rescue mission in the basic education.
Yes.
Which you did so well in the previous administration. And you've come on board with, they said a winning team, a winning strategy will always win, yes, at any point in time. Now, what success have you recorded? How will you rate yourself in 1 year?
Well, it is left for my principal, the governor, to rate me. But I can rate myself. Exactly. Because we have a method where things that have not been done in the past, if they have been done now, that shows that. One, let me tell you, we had a lot of issues when I came here. Some of our internal results were not released. You recall that I mentioned that in my previous interview with you. Those results were released. I can tell you that most times I come to work on Sundays to make sure that no file is pending here, so that should it be schools, is the application for approval to open, it will be treated if you are qualified. And then don't also forget that when we came in, there were a lot of obsolete guidelines in terms of establishment of schools. And I say, no, you cannot operate. This is the 21st century. We must move digitally. So we reviewed some of the obsolete guidelines that have been here. And today, before now, even if you want to establish a school, you don't need to register with Corporate Affairs Commission. I say no, you must have to secure Corporate Affairs Commission's certification before you come here. Okay. So that we'll know how to track you should you fail in your responsibility. All these are improvements to the previous system that was being operated here. And then with that, everybody is happy. Right. And it is not the time where you just come, you see one small building and then you want to go and establish a school. That time has passed. The administration of Governor Basil too is an excellent governor, and we cannot afford to toy with the educational progress of our students in Cross River State. So for you to dabble into the business of establishing a school as a private person, you must meet all the requirements. Okay. And that is why now you must look at yourself before you think of coming to establish. All right, so we always see you in the field supervising and all of that. Do you also extend this supervision to the private schools? And then, of course, I want you to also rate the private schools in Cross River State. Would you say the private schools are also doing well? Yeah, they are. Look, you know, we are in partnership with the private schools and the proprietors. Don't forget, even their national president paid me a courtesy call and commended this administration so much that what we are doing, we have also made it possible that made a point clear to them that look, for you to perform well, you must recruit only qualified teachers. These are areas. And then not just recruiting qualified teachers, you must pay those teachers well to enable them perform. All these students are cross-riverians. They are within Cross River State. So for you to say you are qualified and competent to establish a school, these are all the areas we looked at. You don't just submit proposal to us and we'll grant you approval to open. So we are working in partnership. A few days ago, the state chairman of NAPS was here in my office. And don't forget that they also gave me an award in their national conference that was hosted here in Cross River State, which I represented His Excellency and declared the event open. Right. So we are working together to enable us give the best to Cross Riverians. All right, so let's move forward to other issues regarding your performance in 1 year. We also noticed that, you know, there are permutations that some ministries are not doing so well. And we've also heard that the governor has given ultimatum that you must submit your track records of what you have, your achievements and all of that. What would you say about Ministry of Education? Will you say you are one of those ministries that have been recorded highly, or you are one of those that is not doing so well? Well, if you are in Cross River State, you know that we are doing excellently well. Okay. You don't need anybody. Say you say you have always been seeing me around, moving up and down. Yes. A man who is moving up, what am I looking for? Those are not my personal houses. or where I live. I am going there to see how things must be done, not just being done differently and in a perfect manner. For instance, when we came on board, we decided to conduct internal exams, which we just recently released results. For the first time in the history of Cross River State, placement, a primary 6 placement examination, junior secondary school, that is basic education examination, and then SS2 mock. We just released results. And for the first time since the establishment of this ministry, all the results are online.
Okay.
All the results are online.
So what is the
So you can stay in the comfort of your house. If you have a word, you just click, get the examination number. That is why you are not seeing crowd here again in our exam and certificate department. Before, it used to be a mini market. I said, no, this is not a garage. So stay at home, assess your result, and parents are happy. I've received a lot of commendation letters.
So what is the current rating of Cross River State right now?
We are doing very well. Even from the federal ministry, don't forget I just came.
What is our position as a state?
Well, it's not by that position, but
okay.
for you to know that we are doing very well. I was given an award by the Minister of Education last month as the most proactive and performing commissioner in Nigeria.
All right, so, if you're just joining us, this is Inside Cross River. On this program, we bring you everything happening in the people's government, and our spotlight today is on the Ministry of Education in Cross River State. Okay.
If you have any of your younger brother or sister in the village, just call them now, ask. You go and log into our website, and you will see the result there.
And the website is functioning effectively?
Very well.
Okay.
Very well. So that even registration for such exams will be online.
Wow.
So that those who perpetrate fraud will not know how to deal with this.
So is your intention to automate the entire education sector? Is it going to be an automated process?
Of course.
Or semi-automated?
We have started very well.
Okay.
For the first time, like I said, even the governor commended me when I told him that our result, I say, Your Excellency, you can access our result now online. He shocked me. I said, that is a good one. So aside from that, when you talk about revenue generation, Minister of Education is not supposed to be a revenue generation agency.
Yeah.
But the other aspect of it, where we operate private schools, these private schools register. Okay. And then they also renew their license with us. So before now, we're given a revenue target of 168 million by the budget office. And I can tell you, we have surpassed that.
Wow.
As I speak to you, within 1 year, we will realize about 220 million.
Wow.
Surpass what the target that was even given to us. So is that what I achieved?
So what have you done differently?
So we are generating.
What did you do differently?
Well, they fear that Odey will go after you if you don't release the money, because these monies that are being collected by principal, sometimes are kept by them. They remit half of it. But in this administration, if you don't remit fully, we will go after you.
All right.
And then we'll ask you to bring
your performance index, have you submitted your own?
The next day, immediately the governor made that pronouncement, because we already had it.
Okay.
Those are more than 23 achievements that we have recorded.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, I'll say we'll release result online. YA certificate performance is there. Sport competition, we've introduced read and write, which the competition centrally was held in the Yako. And then we'll give award to best performing students and all that to encourage them. And then don't also forget, before now, this ministry was not like this.
Sure.
We carry out perfect renovation of the entire structure here, including the PROS department.
So how are you getting your own funding? Because we hear some ministries are crying of funding.
Yes.
So are you funded differently?
Well, sometimes we are supported by His Excellency and myself too. I made some sacrifices because I'm a stakeholder in the state. So we make some sacrifices, and then we will also block leakages, whatever we have. If it is 1 naira, we make sure that 1 naira is properly utilized. I came here, I discovered that some directors were not even having chairs to sit on, not even a fan. But today, they are comfortably seated, and that is why work is going on.
I like that.
Yes.
All right, so thank you very much for this update of the program of...
I have not also finished.
Yeah.
We were indebted to Power Holding here from 2022, 2021, 2022, 23 to a tune of about 15 million naira.
Wow.
We have been able to offset that debt.
15 million?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
In a ministry?
Yes, in the ministry.
Why so much?
Well, the Ministry of Health Ministry of Sport. We are like the host here.
Okay.
So all other ministries share the same system. But I'm just having struggled to clear that. I've told my colleagues in Ministry of Health and Youth, I say, please, better think of how to be on your own. Otherwise, I'll cut you off because I won't have money.
So you are the parent ministry.
For now, in this environment.
Let's talk about these disasters, the natural disasters that have happened to a few schools.
Yes.
We recorded incidences of schools getting burned, and we've seen you go there and all of that. So what is the plan for such schools?
Well, I was in Yala last week where I got information about model school, Okpoma, model secondary school, Okpoma, opposite the police station headquarters in Okpoma. And the next day, like I told you, I'm not an armchair commissioner.
Sure.
I said, let me get there and see things for myself so that I will be able to brief His Excellency the Governor, which I got there. And I discovered that there's a vast land within that area. And I realized that some of these persons that goes about trying to do bush burning, going after, say they can get some rats, rodents and all that. I think they set fire in the nearby bush around. And so there was nobody around to, and the compound is so large that what shocked me was I also discovered that they don't even have any security guards. It's a very big school, it's a boarding school. And this thing happened at night when people were sleeping. And there's no fire service around there, which in our report we are going to make it also known to the government that Yala local government need fire service. Because I learned that the principal even ran to Ugoja to secure the assistance of the fire service in that zone. So the devastation that happened there is that one of the academic building was burnt. Some computers were destroyed. I think I've just signed a report to His Excellency yesterday so that he can.
Are we going to see maybe
but I
renovation go on there?
The report is here. The His Excellency is here to see the report. But I believe that with the destruction that has taken place there, I will appeal to him to come to the rescue of that school so that they can begin to enjoy the teaching and learning that is going on in that place. This is an administration. He has a listening ear. He's a father to everybody. He's a governor that is very passionate about education. And don't forget, I've just been told, even the third fund, they are hosting their conference here, courtesy of His Excellency. Because this is the man that has passion about education. He's doing everything humanly possible. He paid even a courtesy call to third fund executive secretary, or a governor to go and pay a courtesy. That means he wants the best for Cross River State.
All right, so let's talk about networking. We see you network a whole lot with the national. You know, when you're appointed commissioner, it is your responsibility to also draw down from the national what belongs to the state. But we've come to realize that some of your colleagues are unable to do that. Now, before we talk about your exploit at the national, I want to ask this question: Is there a forum where you people interface within the commissioners within the state?
Yes.
Do you interface? Do you augment yourself? Do you support yourselves? Those who have more strength, do you also try to lend a hand to those who are not so, you know, influential in networking and all of that? Why is it that some ministries are doing well and some are not doing so well?
Well, it depends on the strategy anyway. And don't forget, based on the collaboration you are talking about, I think a few weeks ago, we collaborated with the National Senior Secondary Education Commission, Abuja, for the training of about 80 teachers, English and mathematics teachers, that took place in Danik Hotel here in Cross River. So it was a collaboration between the Ministry of Education and the National Senior Secondary Education, a newly established commission. And that is the commission. And also in respect of that, I moved a motion in our last ESCO, where I have asked for the repeal of the law establishing the Senior Secondary Education Board here, so that we can domesticate that law to enable us also assess, just like Subeb is assessing fund from UBEC. So if we are able to repeal the law, which we have started, the ESCO had approved my memo, and then I'm going to work with the Attorney General of the state so that we can tinker with so that the Senior Secondary Education Board can be on its own we want complete disarticulation of junior secondary school from senior secondary school.
Okay.
You know, junior secondary school is under the basic education
board, yeah.
which is supposed to be supervised by SUBEB,
yeah.
but that has not been disarticulated. So during this administration, I'm insisting, and the governor also, that we must disarticulate so that we can also enjoy the benefit that will be coming from the National Senior Secondary Education Commission, Abuja. This is our collaboration. And it is because of the fact that I'm also going out to scout for what's...
Okay, so beside the collaboration within the education subsector, I'm talking about collaboration with other ministries.
Well, when you talk about other ministries that has education content.
No, I mean, okay, like this is my question.
Yes.
Like Ministry of Education is doing well.
Yes.
There are a few ministries that are doing well, but there's this, information that some other ministries are not doing so well. So my question is, some commissioners like you who have national leverage, do you also try to help your colleagues to do well in their areas?
You only help somebody who needs help. Yeah, you only need if somebody say, look, how are you doing it? Like we came back from from Abuja yesterday.
Okay.
We had this consultative meeting with the new ministers of education. Very productive meeting. Even we all commissioners, we have our association.
Okay.
Where we.
But do you engage yourselves?
Of course, with the new minister has even promised that he's donating an office for us.
Wow.
To enable us function. You know, we work with the development partners.
Okay.
Even in this is our consultative meeting with the minister, we had different development partners that came to present a memo to us to know how we can also have a synergy with them.
Okay.
Like the adolescent girl child education, which Cross River State, we are the forefront. You don't forget, even in that meeting, I came out to accuse the director that our letter in Cross River State has not even been acknowledged. We need this money also from development partners.
Okay.
So the governor signed that letter. I raised an objection there, and the minister directed the director in charge of that agile project that, look, listen to what the commissioner for Cross River State, and good enough, I had my evidence. You know, as a lawyer, that's why some people will say when he talks with evidence. I came out and showed the minister. I said, look at this. This letter was dated and signed by His Excellency the Governor, and I personally delivered it. This is the acknowledgement letter. And up to today, no response. So I think I put them on their toes, and this morning the director sent me a text, said, distinguished senator, very soon you will hear from us. So these are the things. So if my colleagues don't come to say, hey, show us the road, how do you show the person?
But within yourselves here in the
state, have a lot to do, so we don't even have time.
Do you even meet? Do you even interface?
Where?
The commissioners in the state, the 31 of you, do you ever have a meeting?
In the 36?
Within the state?
We have our association, very powerful.
So you were appointed a focal person some time ago.
Yes.
Can you tell us what you've done so far?
Girl child education, that conference was held in the villa, okay, which was also, the vice president was that.
So as a focal person, what have you done?
Well, I was the chairman of the technical committee. My responsibility ended at the end of that conference. Okay. And the conference was very successful. Okay. Trust me where I am.
All right, so being that they saw that kind of maybe credibility and courage in you, and you were appointed a focal person, have you thought about doing something similar like that in the States?
Well, we are already
advocating for the girl child in the States.
Yeah, that is where I said we have applied for Agile. Okay. Agile, the money that will come to the state will be used for that purpose. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. So we are not sleeping. I've also written a lot of letters to development partners, UNICEF and all that. You know, these things are not easy, but we keep following up. Right. And then there are a lot of training that are going on here, okay, in terms of partnership, training of our teachers, data collection and all that. Right. That was why I was also given another award as the most proactive in terms of excellent report and data gathering in commissioner in Nigeria. I didn't even bring the gift to show to you. That was given to me by the Minister of Education.
Wow. All right, so if you are just joining us, this is Inside Cross River. I noticed that one of the most prominent things I've seen while following your trajectory is the fact that on a monthly basis or every 3 months, you've been giving prestigious awards. Now, some people are asking, is Senator Odey influencing these awards, or these awards are given to him on merit? Why are you awarded, why are you the most awarded commissioner this year? So what would you say is actually responsible for those awards?
Well, will you tell me, like I told you now, that I was just in the National Council of Education meeting, and Commissioner for Education, Enugu, Commissioner for Education, Gombe, and myself was mentioned that we should come and receive an award.
Spontaneously.
Just like the three of us in the whole country.
I didn't know before.
I didn't know. How would I know? All the awards, I have always, even when people write to me that they want to give me an award, I used to, from Super. So if it is, people feel that somebody is influencing it, then they should go and influence it. I don't influence an award. You know my tradition. I don't. But don't forget that if you are working, people are seeing you. Like some few days ago, I had my birthday and I was celebrated nationally and internationally. Will you say that I'm the one telling people to write and say, look, I'm wishing you happy birthday? Those people were doing it on their own, knowing the kind of person I am. Don't forget that I've served. The national chairman of the Youth Council, Cross River State branch, called me 3 days ago that they were having their meeting, National Council on Youth meeting in Gombe State. That he was shocked that people in Gombe State were talking about me. Wow. My performance in the Senate, and what I did in Subeb, and what I'm doing here. These are Hausa people I don't know. So assuming the award comes from there tomorrow, you say, do I even know anybody? I don't think I've even been to Gombe State in my life.
All right, so this is Inside Cross River. We've been having the privilege of interacting with Senator Stephen Odey, the Commissioner for Education in Cross River State. We've talked about a whole lot of things, his new reforms in the education sector, of course, of his interface at the national, and the success of the ministry in 1 year, and what we should look out for. Before we go to what we should look out for in 2025, Honorable Commissioner, I'm sure you have a few more things to say to us.
Last week, I invited the NUT chairman here, and there was a memo to us urging us to intervene in terms of teachers that work in the riverine area. And the governor, in his magnanimity, approved purchase of life jackets. Okay. So last week, we donated some life jacket to our teachers in Bakassi local government to enable them work. You know, those of them that apply these riverine areas, we need to safeguard their lives for their safety. And I think the NUT chairman and his members were so excited. So we must thank His Excellency. That is an achievement. Sure. It has never happened before. Sure. And we intend to replicate same in other local government areas where teachers are also prone to some of these areas. They enter canoe to go to work. So we must have to save our teachers in the course of doing their job. That is a very serious area. And don't also forget that we are trying to make sure that the state does very well in terms of being prudent, even at our school level. You know, they are administrators at their own level. Just like we are trying to make sure that the right thing is done here. We recovered over 20 million naira from principals of school that indulge in illegal collections. Take, for instance, if a school has a population of 1,000 students or pupils, and you come to the ministry and declare that data that you have 500, we'll go after you. And that is why we visit schools to see what you are doing. Because they will declare 500 and keep 500. All the levies collected are kept by them. So from such, we recovered over 20 million in the account. So
while you are doing this now, because you laid a foundation in Subeb, yeah. You deliberately put a framework in place that will ensure that even when you are no longer here, that will become the basic set rule for the education sector across the state.
Of course, that is why we are coming out with those policies, and then we'll try to review those obsolete guidelines. Even if I live here, I'm not going to live with the guidelines. Whoever comes in here will know that there is a guideline. If you want to add one or two, you add. Don't also forget that the ministry is all about policy. And that was why I came up with the issue of tenure. And you will see at the end of the day, people will come to terms with me that that is the best proposal. Wow. You can imagine somebody whom I just appointed. Don't also forget, when I came on board, there were about 6 vacancies for education secretaries. Before now, when people retire, they look for somebody to be acting. But here, if you retire and you are telling us, we appoint a new person. So within this administration, on the approval of His Excellency, we have appointed about 6 education secretaries. Wow. Taking place also, and they are already working effectively. So what I'm trying to say is that if you don't set a standard, when we are having issues, primary school teachers are already sanitized. Okay. When we are having issues, it's the secondary education board. because my responsibility as a former super chairman was only within the primary school sector. So the secondary education, where nothing like that has taken place, and I can't sit there and imagine that people who are qualified to be appointed principal will go and pay 800 to 1 million naira to be appointed principal. And I sit here as a commissioner and I hear that such person needs to be disciplined. It's not only the officer that is collecting, the person, the teacher or the principal who is also influencing, and that is why those who are qualified are not being appointed. Let me shock you. I came here, a lady, I don't know her, from Calabar South, has been a vice principal for 11 years.
Wow. And
I said, why have you not been made a principal, a substantive principal? He said, because I refuse to pay money.
Somebody will overtake.
Those who pay will take the position.
Wow.
And I said, okay, for being transparent and for shunning corruption, I'm going to make you the head. And before you know, I brought them here, 3 of them, to write attitude tests. And at the end of the day, she's now the executive secretary of Calabar South Education Authority.
Wow, that's interesting.
So just to show people that, look, it is good to do the right thing.
All right, so while doing the right thing, there are also consequences.
Of course.
So when you fight corruption, corruption fights back.
And that is why most times you see a lot of frivolous stories. And don't forget, let me tell you today, there is a cartel in the system.
Okay.
And then I think the governor has realized that these people are fake. Because when something happens, they mobilize themselves and be bombarding His Excellency with text messages, thinking that the system is not functioning well. These are the beneficiaries of those frauds. And so I am fighting a cabal here in the system. I've stopped the issue of paying money, the issue of being posted to a big school. You know, when you are posted to a big school, that's where they declare, if you have 1,000 population, they will declare 500. All the levies for the remaining 500 goes into their pocket.
So what has your experience been like fighting this cabal? How difficult has it been?
I'm not distracted in any way. I'm used to it. The attack in Subeb was worse than what I've seen here. Especially when you know you are doing what is right.
Okay.
The truth will always prevail. You were here when you came and interviewed me, they said that WAEC was padded. Did I not show you a letter from WAEC? Was there any story like that? It was an imagination just to bring down the commissioner there. Some believe that he's not supposed to be on this seat. This seat is meant for some people. Why should he be there? And I said, the governor knows that this person can be on this seat. And he has confidence that I will not betray him here. Yeah. That is why I'm here. And I'm here to do only what is right. So it is better you do what is right. I don't care. At the fullness of time, the truth will always prevail. Okay. And I believe that His Excellency have seen. Because they have this cartel, they will be bombarding His Excellency with text messages telling him lies. Nothing like that exists. I am here. Call me 24 hours. From day one that I came to this office, I can give you every bit report of what I have done in this office. Yeah.
All right, so every informed society would ultimately have informed people that will add qualitative value. That's why education has always been on our top priority. Even those of us as media managers will always pay priority, ultimate priority to the education subsector. How have you been able to set modalities to ensure that you are not the only one that is this active? In your absence, how are people working without supervision? How honest are your staff been so far, in your opinion?
Look, when I came on board here, I told them that, look, if you don't have canvas, go and get one. And I'm excited that each time I'm going out, even those directors who are female, they go with me. Okay. And that was why we were able to close down some illegal schools. And then what we need more is that we need more funding. We need more funding. Okay. You will see that Ministry of Education, we are supposed to have a lot of e-law vehicle here, so that we can go for monitoring
and evaluation.
I don't believe in sitting in this office and teaching files. As a teacher, I want to see the methodology being adopted. I want to see the instructional material being used by the teacher at the appropriate time. So we need to go out, we need to engage with our teachers. We need to evaluate what they are doing. So that even if you are not doing well, and we need training and training of our teachers. Right. These are all issues that have written memos to His Excellency. I believe that very soon he is going to make money available for us. It is not across the state that I've been able to access the BEC matching grant. Up to date. We were with the minister day before yesterday where he told us that the money that is stashed in CBN, that some states cannot access. But to my greatest shock, His Excellency made the fund available. And that is why Superb has just advertised for over 100 and something projects. So we are determined and we are poised. And for us, those of us who are overseeing some of these things. And don't also forget that the law establishing the University of Education and Entrepreneurship, we are converting the College of Education Akamba to a university. As I speak, that has been concluded. So that is development in the education sector. And also because of the fact that ITM was being underutilized, we have successfully handed over, and the Federal Polytechnic has taken over ITM.
Wow. Because
the staff that were there were unproductive. You have a staff of about 200 population, and then you have about 42 students. The idea of having Federal Polytechnic and State Polytechnic in one location is not ideal. So His Excellency came up with that idea, and I wrote to the minister, followed the permanent secretary came and the directors, and I can tell you authoritatively that process has been concluded. So we now have the Federal Polytechnic, and I believe that the staff under that, some of them will be absorbed by the Federal Minister. I even met with the Director of Polytechnic in this our meeting with the Minister day before yesterday, that they are coming down to see the number of staff they will absorb, and the remaining one will be pushed into the State Civil Service.
All right. So moving forward, Honorable Commissioner, what should we expect from the Minister of Education in 2025? What should the people look out for?
Well, if you look at the budgetary provision for Minister of Education, it's fantastic, and I must commend His Excellency the Governor for that allocation.
What is the allocation for next year?
Well, the issue of allocation, I can tell you that education is given the highest priority in the 2025 budget. Okay. So leave that one is my money. I don't want you to know how much.
No, it was common knowledge that 50%.
But it's a humongous amount. So that you will not be coming here and be disturbing me. You want to know how I'm utilizing it. So leave that one.
It was common knowledge that 15% was allocated to education and the 2024 budget.
Yes.
So when you know the allocation for 2024.
And that's why when you see the transformation that is going on, like all the before it was not like this.
Okay.
Is that not?
Right, so education.
But like I told you, I need more money. I need more money.
It's a privilege that we are here doing this conversation with you. I know the people of Cross River State are depending on you, not just because you are commissioner, but because of your vested interest in ensuring that the rescue mission operation you've kickstarted will be taken to a logical conclusion. But looking at 2025, for instance, what other new initiative are you going to bring on board? Or you are just going to consolidate on your former reforms that you have created?
Let me tell you, education structure, we are trying to go technical and vocational.
So are we expecting more reforms?
Of course, because our target now is to make sure that a situation where students graduate and they no skill, that is why the governor is talking about establishing that entrepreneurship University of Education and Entrepreneurship, so that we begin to prepare our students. Don't forget that we have technical education board, and I think the executive secretary there and the governing council members are all very active, very determined. We are working in synergy, and I'm not also going to leverage on what I heard the Honorable Minister of Education have said. I'm not going to allow them to rest, so that Cross River State will also benefit from those largesse from the federal, so that we can equip our technical and science and vocational institutions, so that people will not do more basic vocational education than this idea of reading and writing, where at the end of the day you graduate from school no skill. Nigeria is moving away from that, and so in 2025 that is the focus. Okay. And then everybody should be ready to come on board. All right. Because education is not a one-man show. We want to give it a holistic approach, so that at the end of the day, and that is why all those players in the education sector, we all even know the private sector, the development partners, to please, we are available. Okay. Reach out to the ministry, your proposal, and we'll key into it. And I believe that, don't forget, the governor, His Excellency, Senator Basio Edetutu, has created an enabling environment. He has not interfered in any activities that we are doing. He sits and watch. Like the NEDFOR, one day he forwarded a chat to me, and I told him, Your Excellency, I sent a letter that I have made to the Nelfon Chief Executive Officer to pay him a call. Before he even reminded me, my letter has already reached, and I've already spoken with him.
Outside the box.
Of course, you know me. Am I here with the 2A PhD, am I here to joke? All
right,
so it is all about passion. Just the same way the governor has passion about it, education, is the same way I have. And that is why, if you are not ready to work, we ship you out. Okay. And that is why even directors will say you must be on your seat 24 hours. So that no files, here, no files is kept. Account department, everything is open. So let me also send a signal to those mischief makers who are always out to bring down the name of this ministry. I can't imagine when a man who has come to say, look, the right thing must be done. Is it the man that you say is wicked? Or the man who sits down and allow bribery to take place? A man who will tell you that, look, collect 4,000 naira from our student. And somebody who sits and collects, instead of 4,000, is collecting 15,000. Such a person needs to be not to be disciplined. So we want to urge Cross Riverians to also support us and report those erring operators within our school system. To me, I'm not scared of anybody doing the right thing. I will continue to do the right thing, and at the end of the day, I will be vindicated. All
right, so thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. You've talked about the feedback mechanism, and that people should report. So how is that going to be done? Besides, for those who are not able to maybe leave their localities to get to Calabar to come to your office, how are you going to create a feedback mechanism that will enable you to know what is going on everywhere within the state simultaneously?
We have education secretaries in our each local
But in terms of feedback, how are the education secretaries doing? How do you rate them?
No, we meet with them regularly, and I've given them a look. I say, look, this is the roadmap, and you must key into it. That is why I always have quarterly meetings with them, to know that, look, when this is my focus, if you don't perform, that is why in my appointment letters, I say, if you have found one thing, I push you out. Do you understand? You either perform or we don't have time to waste. We're already running 2024.
So are they understanding your strategy? Are they understanding the roadmap?
That is
because
why...
Because I haven't done understanding is a premise.
So you are seeing fine there. Every development that happens, you write report. There is a time frame. If you delay, that means you are ineffective. So we didn't appoint you to go and sit there and be eating granuts in the village. You have to perform. And your responsibility is to perform. And very soon, I'm also going to come up with some award also to encourage.
Exactly, that's the next thing I was going to
ask. That is what I want to do, to encourage those performing administrators. So that if you don't perform, you will know by yourself. By the time we reward others, even you, when you are going back home, you will just say that, look, let me try and perform too.
But with that reward system, there will be competition. You'll be encouraging competitive operations. I think that would be a step forward to...
Don't you think that my colleagues, the day the minister called me and gave me an award, they were all jealous? Because only 3 of us out of the 36. So others too are working.
But what was the criteria for that selection?
You know, when they write memo to you, ask for information, ask people to come to Cross River State, and they are promptly attended. They meet with the commissioner, you address the issues, you are in a conference with them, you either go to declare the activities open and all that, and they ask for information, reports are sent to them, they keep record of this.
Active participation.
Of course, that is, they say, proactive and excellent report writing. Commissioner in the country.
I like that. So I want to say congratulations to you. Congratulations for your...
But those who don't like me may not know that I'm performing. But the only person that I want him to like me is the governor, not any other person. Because if the governor likes me and I'm performing, I'm okay.
Oh my goodness, Senator Odey. All right, so we want to congratulate you. You are a multiple award-winning commissioner in Cross River State. But you know, for every accolades that are being given to you requires more performance, right?
Of course.
So how differently are you going to position yourself for next year?
I position myself already, long before now. That's why I have double PhDs. That's why I'm a lawyer. I hold a PhD in law. So even if you write anything here, to rewrite memo, you think I will just approve. I read every line. And sometimes my directors, when I minute memo to them, they will laugh and return back. I'll say, see me and explain this. So I am already prepared. So what preparation do you want me to prepare again?
All right.
So we are already set, and they will set the ball rolling already. We are only going to sweep more and add more to our achievement. Yes, and more award and more achievement.
Okay. All right, so that we've heard from commissioners.
And don't forget, very soon, like I said, Registration for basic education exams, internal exam result, all registration for such exams is going to be online. You can stay in Ukele and register your younger ones without asking them to go to Yala, where the road is bad. But thank God, the governor is already prepared, constructing your road.
Oh God. So there is someone who speaks truth to power. So there is someone who is very forward thinking and very progressive. So I want to congratulate you for all the awards, for all your performance, for making Cross River proud, for doing us proud in our ramifications. We say congratulations. And he said he's ready for 2025. So everybody has to be ready. For the Ministry of Education, I can say confidently that, of course, they have the right commissioner and know that they'll keep moving forward. So for the people of Cross River who are watching us, everyone out there, from those within your purview, like your principals, your education secretary, and of course the people themselves out there and your development partners, what is your word for them as we move forward towards next year?
First, my word for His Excellency is to thank him for the opportunity and to assure him that I'm going to deliver on my mandate and I will continue to deliver.
Okay.
2 is to tell Crossiverians that, look, support us and let us do the best for you because your children are there. If you close your eye and something that is not right is being done, and you keep quiet and I'm not aware, don't blame the ministry for not performing. I'm not a magician. I can't be everywhere. There are so many schools in Cross River State. And I have told you, within this short period, we have granted approval to over 60-something schools. Do you know why we are doing that? We are doing that because we are bringing education closer to the people.
Okay.
You know, distance matters a lot. Sure. And we don't want out-of-school children in Cross River State.
Okay.
So we are doing a lot. Those are all achievements that you did not even allow me to reel out. But I want to assure Crossiverians that we are at our best.
Okay.
Everybody is ready to work, and we are going to work. 2025 will be a great space for us.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. On Inside Cross River, we let you in on everything happening in the people's government. Our spotlight is education. Of course, we're going to move to other ministries. It is your responsibility to understand what is playing out and for you to get involved as well. And our own responsibility as media managers is to also let you know what is going on, what the policy trust of government is, and of course, how those activities are playing out in each of the ministries and how you can get involved. My name, remember, is Akpala, and the program is Inside Cross River. We'll bring you another thought-provoking edition next week with another commission, another ministry to let you know what they've done in 1 year and what, of course, the governor of Cross River State, how supportive he has been in those ministries and how you can also be a partaker of such initiative. Stay blessed and always put your best foot forward as a Crossiverian. Bye-bye.